Doing a market update. So today is Monday the 3rd of January. So first Monday of the year, first week of the year. So let's jump into the market. So before I jump into AU, which I shared last week, both on here and within the free Discord, let's jump into the dollar. So the dollar overall, I've been expecting it to go lower. All right, we were expecting for it to break out this range, which it did on Friday. We had a really nice bearish close below, and then we were looking for it, as I mentioned last week, to sort of come up and test structure here. Now, it did come up and test, but it actually made a fake out move and has since closed back within the zone. So therefore, we're actually looking at possibility of a further move higher on the dollar. Because if we fail to stay below 96, we might come back down now, retest 96, for a possible move higher. So we're gonna be really watching what the dollar does within this little pocket of price between 96, so 96 to 25, 250. Again, if we do break below structure, then that would be a good indication. Higher time frames do sort of indicate a move lower still. I do actually favor a move lower, but the fact is that we did fail to stay below 96, which is, as I said, a good indication that we might see a push back up higher. So we're gonna be really interested to see what price does this week. There is also non-farm payroll this Friday, which generally speaking, I've noticed the sort of trend of the dollar last year of 2021 was that the dollar would sort of go sideways and then non-farm payroll come out, and then we'd see a very, very big impulsive move, which for the most part was to the upside last year. But hopefully we begin seeing this corrective phase now, because you look at the dollar, it's pushed up into that 96.8 to 97 region I've been talking about now for 5 or 6 weeks. And it's had a very, very nice correction, but it needs more. It definitely needs more of a deeper move down. You can see historically, it tends to respect this level. It tends to really come back down towards this 95, sort of 94.5 region of price. Again, you can see here, it pushed back up, came back down here, pushed up, came down here. So we'll see what it does. I mean, again, how I trade and how the mentorship students trade is we are never married to a bias. We just kind of follow price. So we might, at London Open, we might be looking bearish on the dollar, but something could happen. And then from there, we're looking bullish. We're never married to a bias. We're always able to just flip, which is why we're able to catch pretty much every major move within the market, is we're able to just flip our bias. And that's thankful to the trading strategy along with the psychology that I teach within that strategy, as well, as that's very, very important. So again, watching what the dollar does here. If we start breaking up higher above 96.3, we really should see a pushback up into 96 sort of 7 region of price up here. Let's have a look at some pairs. CAD JPY broke above 90.3, and then now we've come up, we've tested 91.2. This is looking like a clear break and retest of this structure here. Okay, this is looking like a clear retest of this level to go higher. I believe the entry on this isn't gone. What I would like to see, if I was trading this pair, I'd be looking for something like this. If pricing come down towards 9,200, give some nice pin bars, some nice exhaustion candles to the downside, some nice bullish engulfings, things like that. But then we can look for a major move higher, at least back up towards 91,200. Now the easy buy on this was super easy last week, which I covered. Again, something like this, 25 pips would have been perfect. And then you would have taken this up to 91,200. It's an easy 1 to 6.5. Guys, for those who trade an FTMO account of, let's say, 100K, that's 6.5K given for free right here. They do up to 400K before their scaling plan. That's 6, 12, 18, that's 24K right there just by following this free video, all right? So easy price action, triple bottom on the 1 hour off of 89,500. Super, super simple. Shared it all last week. So that's what I'll be looking for this week. But just, again, as always, keep in mind this could come up, make a double top at 91.2, and then make the reversal. I'm not seeing that as a possibility right now. This is very, very bullish. But you can see here we've also struggled to stay above 91.2. This is the daily time frame. This is a pretty big level. Okay, and I'm actually bearish, or sort of shorter term bearish, on a few correlated pairs such as like GJ, at least again because they're at such high levels on the higher time frames, major levels in the higher time frames, I should say, that I'm kind of leaning towards that this week. So if price does end up pushing up and you do take the buy from around this level, if it gives it, make sure you monitor price here to make sure you at least take partials and maybe even hedge it, meaning you have the buy running like this, for example, and then if price comes up and you see nice exhaustion, nice rejection here, you could then look for a possible sell. That way you can take partials off the buy and then look to take the sell lower if the price action indicates. So that way, no matter what happens, you look to profit from the market. Your NZD USD exactly yet last week again came down, made the beautiful buy opportunity here, pushed up, respected price, pushed up again as I said to look for. It could come up, make the double top, which it did. Double top at 6.8500. Again, those price levels, and then easy sell from there. Super clean price action. Really anywhere in here could have been your entry. Go to the 2 hour. Let's have a look. I mean, that right there could have been your entry right there. 0.685. There's your entry, and that'd be easy profit. Again, depending on what the dollar does this week, if the dollar it ends up going lower, this will most likely go higher. But what I'm sort of looking at is if price can stay below this level here, you'd be looking for a sell back down to do like a proper retest of 0.67 sort of 400 region, maybe 200. Otherwise, if we break above structure here, I'd be looking for this. This could be a fake out because remember the dollar could be a fake out to the upside. Right now, the dollar is really 50-50. Okay, higher time frames kind of give a mix of both. I favor more downside, but again, you know, I'm able to flip my bias with my strategy with how I trade. One particular closure on a candle can change everything, and I'm able to just completely go from selling to buying just like that, which is again why we're able to catch every move without being emotionally attached to it, because we're just literally just following price. And we have certain confirmations, which is the 4-hour confirmation strategy that I teach, that I invented, that no one else teaches, which again is designed for one to create patience, but also to give you a clear-cut definition of, am I looking for buys or am I looking for sells? Super simple. So that's how I'm able to just flip like that for those who've been asking. So that's what I'm looking for. Again, if the 4-hour kind of gets above here, then obviously we're looking for further move upside. If it stays below here, below 0.68, I'd be looking for further downside. So just either way, watching what price does here. USD JPY, I said to watch for price here, and it just literally blew through. So there's never any price action here at all to indicate a sell, because it started closing above 115, and then obviously started giving exhaustive candles to the downside. If anything, this was a really nice buy, because again, broke above here, and then you could look for a buy opportunity from here. From up here, broke above here, and then look at these wicks to the downside. And look at this, tap. Beautiful pin bar right there. Broke above 115. 15 pip stop loss. Probably could have gone a little bit smaller, but even then, you'd be up around 3%, give or take. Only 40 pips. I'm not really a fan of USD JPY. I don't trade it. I used to trade it. It's just so slow. But what I'd be looking for here is price to push back up into 115.5, and then from there, see what it does. Again, depending on what the dollar does. But look at this. This is a major level. We've not been above 115.5 since, Jesus, back in March 2017. So, we're at major levels. The probability of this respecting and having a push lower, at least for a correction, is really fucking high. So watch price up here. Any nice exhaustion, any nice patterns, bearish rejection like this, you'd be looking for a sell at least down into 114.200, if not lower, because again, market moves in patterns, market moves in rhythms. It tends to it tends to repeat itself. So yeah, make sure you watch price up here. This could be trade of the week for those who trade this pair. Very interesting to see what a lot of our pairs. Notice a lot of the JPY pairs, such as CAD JPY, USD JPY, and GBP JPY, are all at major levels this week. So very interesting. Very interested to see what price does around these levels. Obviously, it could always blow through. You never want to get married to a bias, but right now, historically, technically, based on probability, it is more likely to respect. But again, we'll see what price gives us, okay? Last pair is AUD USD. I actually shared this in the free Discord last week. It took a little bit to play out. It ended up pushing down, came back in the drawdown. I only did a 20 pip stop loss on this, ended up pushing a little bit in the drawdown, and then pushed down. So right now, this trade is around 3.5%. In profit, 70 pips. Let me just show you guys here. I shared this last week, right here. AUD USD, right here. I shared this at 11:14 a.m. on Friday. Boom, there's your entry, right there. Okay, so I know quite a few of you guys caught this. So if you were in this now, I would maybe consider taking some partials off this. You're up around nearly 4%, maybe close 25 to 50%. Again, the only reason for that is because the dollar is so 50-50. It's best to really just secure some profit. 25% would get you around 0.8 to 1%, give or take, based on your entry. So I'd be looking for price to really, for this. Let's have a look, actually, before I get into that. Really, it looks very bullish right now, doesn't it? Go to the 8 hour. Only thing I can see is we really failed to stay above 0.72 region. Okay, that's sort of what I'm looking at. What I'd be looking for here is, again, possibly trying to hedge this. If you can try and hedge this. So if, let's say, for example, price was to come down. Oh, look at that. Beautiful pattern. Okay, so you might not get a hedge, but if it does, if it comes down and tests again, you get some nice rejection. You could look to hedge this and then watch what price does here. Because if you take the buy, you can leave your partials running from the sell and then watch what price does here. Because what it could be doing is coming up to retest 0.722 for a possible move lower. And then you could close your buy and then add a second sell. Otherwise, if it was to break above here, then what you could do is leave this buy running and then look for an additional sell, an additional buy from there off 0.722, 0.72250, and then you could close the remainder of this. So you get like an extra 1% off this. That way you've made around about 3 to 3.5%, give or take. So that's what I'd be looking for on this week is if it gives another tap here, watch what price does here. You might be able to get a sell for the hedge. So you have a buy running, a sell running, and then possibly another sell. And then if it breaks above there, I'd be looking for price to retest this and add a second sell in. But again, you need, for the sell on this, I wouldn't be entering this far off the zone. I'd be looking for price to really sort of dip back down and try and get an entry somewhere in or down in here. News-wise this week, calendar-wise, the main ones you want to look for is inflation rate, okay? We have quite a bit of inflation rate news coming out, which is we have inflation rate for the euro tomorrow. I believe we have it again for the euro on Wednesday. And then Thursday, we have FOMC, I believe. Inflation rate again. Where is it? I swear. Oh, FOMC is on Wednesday. And then Friday is the big one. We have unemployment for CAD, employment, and then non-farm payroll. So I'm expecting pairs like CAD JPY, USD CAD, GJ to really make moves. Again, just because of that correlation. But even just the dollar, we might see the dollar sort of go sideways this week until non-farm payroll, which, as I said earlier, tends to be the trend, is that the dollar will range, and then non-farm payroll might give like a big manipulative wick to the upside or downside before making its move. So just keep in mind that if you are trading on Friday, make sure you keep your risk in check. Make sure you use a stop loss, and maybe even widen your stop loss or even just reduce your risk a little bit just to make up for any possible manipulation that might enter the market based on the non-farm payroll and inflation rate news that will come out. Have a great week, guys. Let's have a great year. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I appreciate all the messages. If you guys aren't already in the free Discord, make sure you go to my Instagram or even go to the website. You'll see links for the free Discord there. There's like 700 of you now, so super, super excited. I appreciate all the messages. If you have a great week, guys, and I will chat to you guys on Wednesday with another market update.